Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Huff, and today we are going to be talking about Havoc and the Devotion. This is part one of a two-part series, mainly talking about which one you should be using, but because the turbocharger and the purple attachments do completely different things to these weapons, it is worth breaking it down into two different segments. So this one's going to be without the turbocharger and the high-end attachments. Let's get right into it, and if you do enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button below and consider subscribing. Havoc is going to deal quite a generous 18 damage. You compare that to the Devotion, and that's going to be coming in at 15. Not awful stats from either of those, but at 18 for the Havoc is actually really good. Its headshot is going to be 32 on the Havoc, and on the Devotion it's going to be 23. Note that on the Havoc it is a 1.75 multiplier. Compare that to the 1.5 times multiplier on the Devotion. Now the rate of fire, this is where the stats can be a little bit skew with, but the rate of fire on the Havoc is 672 rounds per minute. This is once you start firing. This is like once the first bullet leaves, that's how quickly you're going to be firing with that thing. On Devotion, you're going to start at 300 and then you're going to ramp up all the way to 900 rounds per minute. Just for a little bit of reference on Call of Duty, this is probably where you would expect most of your SMGs to be. Maybe it's a little lower, some a little higher, but yeah, damage per second on this is going to come in at 202 on the Havoc. Now this is an important stat because it's not like COD where you can just quickly flash someone and have like a 500, 600, 700 millisecond kill time. It's different on this game. It's just about getting that damage out as consistently as you can, because odds are you're not going to do them in one clip. It's a much more sustained approach in this game than it is on other shooters. Now on the Devotion, that stat, I've got two numbers again, is going to be 75 damage per second up to, at your max fire rate, 225 damage per second. So technically, once you've got the gun fired up and then you lock onto another target, you can kill someone fully armored, red armor, in a second. As long as it's not full fire. That is really decent stats, but the problem is, it's going to take a little time to get there, isn't it? So let's talk about the charge time. Now, the turbocharger, without it, is going to affect the weapon in a couple of ways. Now, when I say charge time, it's going to be an open bolt delay on the Havoc, and that's going to be 0.42 milliseconds. So this is the same way it would work on LMGs, on Vanguard, and some LMGs on, what do you call that other game? That really good one, Modern Warfare version 1, 2019 should I say. And this is going to be followed up by a charge time of 1.75 seconds on the Devotion. Now that means it's going to take you 1.75 seconds to go from 300 rounds per minute to 900 rounds per minute. That is a very, very, very long time. So it's hard to put it into words how much of an effect that has. But you've all used it. You've all been sat there. You've picked up the gun straight away, and you just thought this gun's firing far too slow. It's not getting up to where I need it to be. And by the time it does get up to where you need it to be, someone's run behind cover, or you've either run out of bullets, or you're already dead waiting for it to do something. Shots to kill on this game, Havoc is going to come in at 10 shots to kill. Devotion is going to be 14. Now, I'm also going to talk about the base mag size as well, because this is something that you need to consider before you have that investment of these good attachments. You are more than likely going to get yourself into a fight, unless you're just playing Storm Point. What I would say to this is you're going to have 24 on the Havoc, and you're going to have 48 on the Devotion. Do note, if you are a Rampart main, you're going to be sat there on 55. So that's really good. An extra 7 bullets, you know. And when you consider that on the Devotion, it's 14 bullets to kill. That's 7 extra bullets. That's a crack. That's whatever you need that to be. So yeah, have some fun facts anyways about these guns. So the alt fire mode on the charge rifle, when you press B on a keyboard or mouse, or when you put in single fire mode for any other gun, that used to be a charge rifle. That was really cool. Do you remember that? Because I remember that. What a time that used to be. Comment please if you remember the charge rifle mode on the Havoc, because that was hilarious. And also sickening for your ammo pool. Also, the Havoc used to crash your game in Season 0. So before the Season 1 came out, the Havoc was added into the game. It was the first gun to be added into the game. It wasn't part of the original floor loot. It got added in there. And when you picked it up and you started firing it, it would crash your game. And it was so strange. So yeah, technically this gun has caused real life damage as well as in-game damage. Now, the devotion, fun little fact about that. Unless it's been added to a care package or had a mag size tweak, this thing has always been nerfed. That doesn't surprise me, not to be honest. Come on. If you remember what a Season 0 devotion was with a turbocharger. Wow, I'm sorry for the PTSD you still have, because I know I still have it. Anyways, what's my closing thoughts on this? It's the Havoc base variant is much better to have than devotion. Doesn't take as long to spin up. Once your bullets do start coming out that weapon, they are gonna your rate of fire doesn't change. So once that first bullet has left, that is your fire rate there, which is really good. Does have really good base damage, like really good base damage, and it's got a rate of fire as well, which is going to knock it up there with the 301 with a flatline in terms of time to kill, so long as you hit your shots. It doesn't have a barrel mod on there, so you are going to have to kind of get used to that recoil. You're going to have to learn it. To be fair, it's not the hardest gun to learn in terms of recoil. It's largely just up with the occasional spit right, so it's not too hard if you're on PC. But yeah, it's a really good gun, and the fire rate makes it a little bit easier to control as well. It's not like ridiculously high, but it's not like rampage slow either. So it's all right. I'm looking at the devotion stats now, and I can't really tell you a reason why to use it without a turbocharger. It's one of those guns that it's an investment. You pick it up, you're investing in it. Unless you have a turbocharger in mind, don't drop it for a Havoc. If you see both and you don't know what you want, but you're sat there on a couple of energy attachments like blue or grades, you know, Havoc's a good shout. Yeah, like that's just pretty much all I've got to say about that. But yeah. We're back on 3 uploads a week, guys. God help me. So part 2 to this will be released the same time next week. Until then, we've got an A1A Players video, and we've got a current state of Apex video in the schedule this week. So make sure you subscribe for that. But till then, I've been off. A1A Rain, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.